Afrim Qendro is the second director to be dismissed within the past few days by the Minister of Energy and Infrastructure and will be replaced by Sonila Qato. The Independent Qualification Commission has ascertained problems related to the justification of property for the prosecutor of the Serious Crimes Court, Donika Prela. The residents of Beslidia neighborhood in Lej complain about the infrastructure of roads while claiming that the municipality has not kept their promises. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Tuesday, the 22nd of January 2019. Welcome to the English edition of ARRSH News. My name is Oliver, and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country, translated into English. Just a few days ago, the Minister of Energy and Infrastructure, Belinda Baluku, assumed her new role in government, and she has already begun a process of dismissals among the main institutions. 24 hours after the appointment of Skurdi Denova, who served as the transmission system operator, replacing Claudian Gradetzi, we learn of another change. Afrim Qendro has been dismissed from the post of director of the Albanian Road Authority, while former Minister for the Protection of Entrepreneurism, Sonila Qato, has assumed the role. The former head of the Albanian Road Authority, Afrim Qendro, and former transmission system operator administrator, Claudian Gradetzi, who served as the right-hand man of former Minister Gjiknuri, were involved in the scandal of the New Ring Road with the DH Albania company. Through false documents, the company earned 2 contracts with a value of 30 million euros at the end of last year and 18 million euros for the construction of the first lot at the New Ring Road by the Albanian Road Authority. After the scandal, both tenders were cancelled while the prosecution started its investigation. A few days ago, Claudian Gradetzi and Afrim Qendro testified before the prosecution and are still under investigation. Meanwhile, it is believed that these changes come as a result of political movements in the government led by Prime Minister Edi Rama. The Albanian government has started the countdown for the release of a report detailing the decision regarding the launch of negotiations for Albanian integration within the European Union. Although they have been left with less than 6 months to receive a response from the European Union countries, the required tasks do not seem to have been accomplished. EU Ambassador Luigi Soreca urged Albanian politicians to put more effort into consensus and focusing on the country's integration within the EU. According to Soreca, the European Union has welcomed these latest developments, but more needs to be done before moving to the next step. He said that it is time, a decisive time, and that the June decision should not be taken for granted. Soreca suggested that it would be a mistake for Albania not to do all that it can do within the upcoming months. During the acceptance ceremony for the President of the Council of the European Union from Romania, the ambassador of this country in Tirana said that there will be special attention paid to the Western Balkan nations. The prosecutor of the Serious Crimes Prosecution, Donika Prela, came today before the Independent Qualification Commission for a re-evaluation hearing. The vetting process for Prela was conducted by a trial panel led by Roland Ilia, Olsian Komici, and Valbona Sajaktari. Prela chose to be present at the hearing without a lawyer present. Case reporter Valbona Sanjaktari said that based on the report provided by the High Inspectorate of Declaration and Audit of Assets and Conflict of Interests, Prela did not declare the borrowing of 1 million lek. The value of buying land from Prela is not verifiable yet, as the area is in continuous development. According to the Independent Qualification Commission, Prela's income is a result from her salary as a prosecutor and her husband, Vangel Prela, who earns his income from his salary as an engineer. Regarding her husband's income, there have been some problems for the years between 2003 and 2005. A part of her husband's salary has not been traced. Prela has declared that her husband has provided the citizen with the initials RN with 25,000 euros through 2 installments. The amount is claimed to be borrowed from his cousin, where he has followed up on the loan with interests, according to the reporter. The investigation was also conducted for a 96 square meter apartment in the name of her spouse, who purchased it for 32,100 euros. The price of this apartment is lower than the market price. Regarding the value of purchase, several investigations were carried out by the Independent Qualification Commission and requested the name of the construction company. The company has replied stating that Mr. Prela was an employee there and received a discounted price. According to the company, this practice has also been done with other employees. The prosecutor at the Serious Crimes Prosecution, Donika Prela, has been challenged by the International Monitoring Operation and the ONM representative Theo Jacobs on the sources of her husband's income. Theo Jacobs directly asked Prela why her husband paid in cash. He stated, "That leaves a bad taste in my mouth," asking her to argue why her husband is a victim in this case and has evaded paying taxes. This may seem to be questionable, but I want to know if the unpaid taxes are just a coincidence. Help me to understand that this is not just a coincidence and that your spouse was lied to by the construction company. They have set this up in such a way as to avoid paying taxes. According to Jacobs, the fundamental question remains: is Mr. Prela a victim or a collaborator in this scheme? Prime Minister Edi Rama today inspected the area where the Tirana-Elbasan highway is being worked on intensively. He said that the previous project was irresponsible and has doubled the cost for the construction of the road. Rama stated, "This road really became gangrene. It started without a project, without a geological study, without any kind of security. Basically, let's just open a tunnel for the electoral campaign, and then who really cares what happens afterwards?" This whole thing has been extremely expensive. The price has practically skyrocketed twice just from pure foolishness. The head of the construction company explained that technical constructions are almost finished, and in March, the road will become, in part, accessible to drivers. The full functionality of the road will become later. The rates are satisfactory, and we anticipate that on March 14th, the road will become accessible to traffic. The left side of the highway will be accessible, at least temporarily, until May 2019. This has been one of the most problematic areas of the new project and has cost over $9.6 million. 93% of the highway has been completed, and we still need $800,000 to complete the rest, informed the head of construction. Prime Minister Edi Rama urged workers to give their maximum engagement to complete the highway within the stated May deadline. The influx of requests for the renewal of identification cards that expire within the first 6 months of this year are linked to the single application office in Berat. Citizens have worried about not being able to obtain their documents on time while lacking essential services, and also express a deep dissatisfaction with the waiting process. I've been waiting and sitting in this chair since 9 o'clock, and I cannot get inside the office, said a citizen. There are also cases where citizens must stay 2 days in a line before reaching the service counter. There are also a lot of people waiting, and the workers at this office are working too slowly. We didn't even get to finish the procedure, stated another citizen. Even in Elbasan, citizens are forced to get up early and leave in the morning hours to wait upon necessary documents to update their profiles. I believe that we will finish the process today. At least I hope so, said a citizen of Elbasan. This situation is most problematic for immigrants who need to take off several work hours just to obtain ID cards or passports. The director of the Civil Status Office, Behar Tashi, says they have been taken measures to manage the flow. There are about 170 to 180 applications per day, informed Tashi. About 1.4 million identity documents expire within the first 6 months of 2019 and need to be updated just so citizens can receive the services that they so desperately need. Potholes replete with water and mud have been shown on full display during these rainy days in the neighborhood of Beslidia in Lej. The neighborhood apartments for thousands of citizens suffer from a lack of infrastructure, although the municipality promises an intervention. Pedestrian and vehicular movement has been difficult due to the abundance of muddy potholes, and citizens have complained that the roads have disintegrated completely. In the housing block adjacent to the problematic roads, there has not been an investment for decades. This situation has hampered the livelihoods of residents who say they have been forgotten by their local government. The municipality of ARRSH says that investments in the Besleithia neighborhood remain a city priority in their list of projects, and although a promise has been made to residents by the municipality, they have not provided a specific time frame for any project. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening. And be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. And once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.